Hello, your friendly neighbourhood docker here, and today is the 4th of May, and you know what day that means? It's Gorillas Day. Sure there's something else though. Nah, it can't be that important.
Docker, what have you done to me?
Now last weekend I attended MCon in Nottingham. Only for the Sunday mind, I couldn't afford both tickets, but it was definitely worth the money. As always, I decided to go in my full suit with the red coat and the bowler hat, but decided to do a little added touch by sticking a Deadpool mask on top of that and creating Chap Pool or Doc Pool, whichever you decide. It was the first time I'd ever been to MCon. I'd been to Nottingham a few times before. About 2 years ago I went to Pagan Pride, which is good fun, good for pictures, gotta say, and has got a nice kind of mixture of people. Now the first thing that I want to say about MCon is from just off the bat, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. We were only stood outside for about 15 minutes, maybe 20. Granted it was a little bit cold, but it was definitely worth it because the moment that the doors were opened, we were just allowed in. All of the ticket things were done really quickly, and the corridor on the way to the main auditorium it had some stalls along the side, but it was still not too cramped that you couldn't get through. In fact, I think the whole day I had no issues of having not a lot of space. Next thing I want to say is the stalls were absolutely brilliant. There was no real urge to, you weren't expected to buy things. It's not like when you go to these bigger cons and it's a bit like a Turkish bazaar, how you're looking around and you feel kind of bad because you just want to buy things from everybody. There wasn't any of that at all. It was actually quite a relaxed atmosphere. I think that's one thing that I'll definitely say from the whole experience about MCon is the fact that it was a brilliantly relaxed atmosphere. There was no stress, no worries from me. And I mean, I have had problems in the past with real cramped conditions and stuff, so that was really refreshing to see. Now the next thing that I noticed about MCon was the guests that they had. They had a really surprisingly good list of people come along. You have the usuals. You had Chris Barry and Danny John Jules from Red Dwarf. They always turn up at many cons. And then you had some of the Doctor Who lot. You had Sophie Eldred, Ace, Peter Davison and Sylvester McCoy, which is always a nice little touch when you can get more than one Doctor involved, as well as many people from Game of Thrones, and I think they even had Chekhov from the original Star Trek, which was a big surprise for me. I mean, there was quite a few American actors who had turned up. There was 1 or 2 people from Blake 7 as well, which was a nice touch, especially considering that one of the members had died. One of the cast members had died this year. I know of a guy Callum, who dressed as a member of Blake 7. And he spent the whole day going around just basically threatening people with his gun. Not in a proper threatening way, just in a kind of pew pew kind of way, with his little eyebrow and whatnot. One of the best things that I really enjoyed was I went up to Sylvester McCoy and I asked him on his opinion on the walking stick that I had. Occasionally I have sciatica, so every now and again I'll get a pain in my back all the way down my left leg. So I have this walking stick which is made out of blackthorn, which my grandmother gave me, and I thought it would be nice to ask Sylvester McCoy's opinion on what he thought, because he seems to be quite an aficionado when it comes to walking sticks and umbrellas. Now my wonderful partner Sarah, she managed to get me an autograph and a little audience with Chris Barry. He was a gentleman. He's the kind of guy that I would have expected to have seen in the village where I grew up. Nice waistcoat, kind of country farmer kind of look. But I gotta say, I did slightly embarrass myself. To some people's surprise, a lot of people think that me and Chris Barry might be related. Now I can't see why that might be. My partner tells me that I pull the Chris Barry face every now and again, and when I told him about this, and before he could even say anything, I went, "Yeah, I don't want to be known as the son of Rimmer." Yeah, that was awkward. That was very, very awkward. Another great thing with the charity foundations, we had 3 Doctor Who ones this time around. You had Old Girl, who brought along their TARDIS. You had the 15th Cyber Legion, who brought Cybermen, and the Charity Dalek Squad, who I've seen around the last year and who are great fun at any con or charity event. They are situated from all over the UK, and keep your wits about you, because not only do they learn what your name is, which was scary for me in January at Science of the Time Lords, had no idea that they knew who I was, and having a Dalek just going, "Docker, where do you want me for this photo?" was very strange. But also, when they want to exterminate you, there'll be a bit of a surprise for you. All of these charity foundations I'm going to have linked below the video, so if you want to check them out for yourselves, feel free to. For me, MCon was a little bit like going to see the Deadpool film. We didn't know what we were going to expect, we knew we were going to have fun, and it was definitely worth the money. Also, it kind of is, for me, a benchmark on what conventions should really be doing, because I've heard no complaints about MCon, and if there ever were, they were dealt with professionally, and the person always kind of left feeling good afterwards, like that they'd gotten something positive out of it in the end. So, gotta say, people from MCon, kudos to you. I don't know how you managed to pull it off, but you had a really, really good convention going there, and I will definitely be going next year as well. But for now, this is your friendly neighbourhood Docker signing off. Don't forget to like and subscribe below, and check out my Facebook page if you feel like it. Laters.
Which boy is up with clink clink? Before I got to start, gal, please get kick kick. Hold them boy, please get kick kick.